may not agree with what I have to say, but I do ask that they respect my beliefs. It is sad to say that even after 44 years of the famous Roe v. Wade case, that women are still fighting for their rights. The Roe v. Wade case was a case that happened in 1970, determining whether or not women could have an abortion of their own free will, whereas in Texas, it at the time was considered a murder charge unless it was life-threatening to a woman's life. However, Jane Roe fought against the Supreme Court that women have the right to choose whether or not they want to have an abortion by presenting the 9th and 14th Amendment to the Supreme Court and District Attorney Wade. While this is a touchy subject to fight for, I am not up here to state that I condone abortion as being child murderers. I am up here to fight for women, the American citizens, including myself, the right to privacy, the right to liberty, and the right to choose whatever we will to our own body. A woman has the right to make drastic decisions such as abortion, and this action is protected by the Ninth Amendment, which the Ninth Amendment in the Constitution states, the enumeration in the Constitution of certain rights shall not be construed to deny or disparage others restrained by the people. In other words, Patrick Henry Tea Party Liberty and Justice for All explains it in clear terms for better understanding. The Ninth Amendment's purpose is clear. The Bill of Rights mentions certain rights that are to be protected from government interference. These rights include freedom of speech, freedom of religion, and many others. Just because the right is not mentioned in the bill does not mean that the government automatically has the right to interfere with it. Instead, the Ninth Amendment states that any right not enumerated or listed in the Constitution is still retained by the people. So in plain language, it means that there are other rights that people have that are not listed in the Constitution. The Founding Fathers realized that they could not possibly list every natural right of human beings that's needed for protection. Natural rights are those rights that people have just because they are human. They are natural to mankind and should not be violated by the government. The 14th Amendment was adopted in the Constitution on July 9, 1868, and states all persons born or natural in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction therefore are citizens of the United States and of the state wherein they reside. No state shall make or enforce any law which shall abridge the privilege or immunities of citizens of the United States, nor shall any state deprive any person of life, liberty, or property without due process of the law, nor deny to any person within its jurisdiction the equal protection of law. In other words, natural citizenship and forbidding the states to restrict the basic rights of citizens or other persons. Roe used the Constitution amendments in her court case and won. The Supreme Court's ruling claimed that the Constitution actually forbids protection for the unborn. She won the right. I will say it again, the right for women to have an abortion if they felt the need to. Our right, our choice. It's stated in the Ninth Amendment that we are human, and Roe said we have the right to privacy, which I agree. She used the 14th Amendment as liberty, our freedom of choice. This is not about condoning the right to terminate a fetus. This is about our constitutional rights, not just for women, for all the people. Judy Galsdale, Tampa Bay Times of St. Petersburg, Florida, November 3rd, 2017, stated, instead of focusing on jobs, the economy, the opioids crisis, world conflicts, and other major challenges our country is facing, these lawmakers are concentrating on rolling back women's rights and banning abortion. We have a lot of other important issues in the United States that need to be taken into account. We have a God-given right as humans to make any choices we want. It's our life, it's our choice, and I am pro-choice, and I've said it before. I am not okay with abortion being labeled as child murderers. I don't see abortion in that way. I see abortion as a woman to have the right to choose whatever we will with our own body. We are all Americans and value our freedom and our constitutional rights as American citizens. And if we all start allowing our freedom of choice to be tampered with, there is no telling what the country may become. and we all have the right to privacy, liberty, and make a choice. Our life, we as people have to live with our own choices, and nobody should ever be allowed to invade or take away our free will.